Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to NNN Media. I am Dr. NIK NIKAM, and today we have four special guests, and they are going to be talking about beauty with a purpose. All our programs are video streamed through YouTube channel NIK NIKAM, and please do subscribe to our YouTube channel, where we have more than 1100 videos accenting our experience here in the United States. We have more than 2 million views, and we also have a Facebook page which is NANO News Network, where we bring you news from all around the world. And today we are going to be talking about beauty pageant, and especially beauty with a purpose. To my right is Rutvi. Chavan, did I get it right?
Yeah.
Okay, and we're going to introduce them shortly. And next to her is Pooja Goyal. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. And next to her is Chandni Paul, right? And behind her is, actually, she is the lady behind all this beauty pageant, which is Ruchika Singh Diaz. Ruchika, welcome to NNN Media. I'm going to start off with Ruchika, and maybe you can tell us something about Bollywood Shake and your involvement with the beauty pageant, and how long you've been doing this, and what are the things that you have accomplished so far.
Thank you, Dr. Nikam. Thank you for having us here to spread the word about Bollywood Pageant, which is about beauty with a purpose. My company, Bollywood Shake, we're a dance school and a media company, as well as we organize events like these beauty pageants. And I would say more than beauty pageants, this is really about a women empowerment event. It's about discovering women and their talent. Pablo Picasso said, "The meaning of life is to find your gift. The purpose of life is to give it away." And we're providing this platform for all these wonderful women to really discover more about themselves, to learn more about themselves, and to really give back to the community. I have one more quote here. Your life has a purpose. Your story is important. Your dreams count. Your voice matters. You were born to make an impact. And all these wonderful ladies are making a great impact to the community.
Well, they certainly are making a very good impact on NNN Media talk show, I can tell you that.
So yes, that's what this is. It's a platform for women of different ages. We have the teen, the Miss, and the Mrs. Bollywood category, where they can showcase their talent, their personality, their smarts, build their confidence, and network with other women of substance that are part of the pageant.
That's fascinating. Ladies and gentlemen, you have been watching NNN Media. I am Dr. NIK NIKAM, and we are talking about beauty pageant, and especially beauty with a purpose. And we're just going to take a little break, and when we come back, I'm going to talk to these three ladies as to how they got from point zero to this level, so that they can share all their experience that might be of a benefit to someone who is interested in learning how to get into a pageant contest and get to the top level. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. You are watching a NNN Media talk show. I am Dr. NIK NIKAM, and next to me is Rutvi Chavan. Maybe you can give a little bit about your background and what level did you compete, and tell us briefly about your accomplishment.
Sure. Thank you, Dr. Nikam, for having me. My name is Rutvi Chavan. I'm a physical therapist by profession. I participated in the Mrs. title, and I won the Mrs. Bollywood USA first runner-up. And I'm really thankful to Ruchika to giving us this amazing opportunity and platform to showcase our talents. And let's see what the other girls
Sure, wonderful.
share the background.
Let's talk to Pooja Goyal. Maybe you can tell us your background and what title you got.
Yes, of course. Thank you for having me, Dr. Nikam. So I participated in the Miss Bollywood category, and I ended up winning that category for the crown. And I'm studying to be a nurse anesthesiologist currently, and I'm a makeup artist on the side.
Oh, that's multi-talented. That's wonderful. Now we will move on to Chandni Paul. Maybe you can tell us your background and what title you got.
Yes, well, thank you, Dr. Nikam, and thank you, Ruchika, for this fabulous opportunity. Again, my name is Chandni Pal. I was competing for the Mrs. Bollywood USA, and I won the second runner-up position, and it was a fabulous experience, and we'll talk about it in detail.
Thank you so much. And this, the rest of the part, the rest of the presentation is going to be divided into two parts. First, they're going to talk about all the different categories in which they were competing, and the second part, which they don't know, and they are going to be answering question answers like they are going to be doing on the stage, because this is just the beginning of their journey, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, let's start off with all of you can answer in a sequence or all together. It's fine with me. Let's start off with what are all the different things they test for or evaluate during a beauty pageant?
So I think it's, of course, your personality as a whole is what matters. It's not just the external beauty. I mean, that's maybe just a little tiny piece of it, but there's much more to it. There's your entire personality, your grace, the way you carry yourself. And it actually, like in the question and answers, which is like the last round and which actually determines the winner, they ask these, spontaneous questions, and they try to judge what you think about it and how you can poise yourself and what your true motive is. It's not just about winning the pageant. It's about what you really want to do with your title.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. The main thing about this pageant is beauty and empowerment, and it's about beauty with a purpose. So while it is about your personality and how you look on the exterior, it's more about interior and what you can do with this platform once you do end up winning the title. So it's a lot more than just going about just looks and personality. You need to be able to create something with this as well.
Pretty much, like my friend says, I mean, it's not just the external thing, it's how you present yourself up on the stage with the poise, with the confidence, with the personality that you are, and you put your best foot forward. And it's with all the things that you have gathered, like throughout your life, what you have done with your career, with your life experiences. That's what you show on the stage.
So do you think that the word beauty pageant is sort of just not projecting all the things that they are looking for in a person?
Maybe to some extent, but I think the one that we were a part of is true, because it just didn't say beauty pageant, it said beauty with a purpose.
Yes,
that's wonderful. So to sum it up, I would say, you're talking about, of course, external beauty, which is also very important. And if anybody says that, that's they're denying it. Number two, elegance, congeniality, photogenicity. I mean, personality, walk and talk, question answers. That's the one which is going to be coming up shortly. Okay, let's talk about each one of these items. And tell us your journey as, how you prepared for that, what you learned, and how, if somebody is watching this, they can get some idea and tips as to how they can approach this, because we don't want to reinvent the same wheel over and over again. Let's start off with think about a prospective candidate like Rekha, who's a high school junior or senior who wants to enter this beauty contest. She came to one of these contests and she's really excited. Now she wants to get started. What is your first advice, each one of you?
For me is to be confident and to follow your passion, your dreams. You have your career, you have all what you have gone through in your life, but you have a soft corner for the passion. So I just want them to encourage, just feel confident about what you feel, and then just put the best foot forward.
Yes.
Pooja?
No, I absolutely agree with that. Confidence is a must key. Even if you're nervous, as long as you put your best characteristics forward and you're confident with that, it's going to shine through everything. It was funny for me. I actually had a moment on the stage where they had technical difficulties and the spotlight was on me for about a good 2 minutes. And I was extremely nervous. But the thing was, I just stood there and I smiled, and I think that definitely carried through.
Well, you're not the first person to get nervous, and I'll tell you some ways we can deal with it, because Mark Twain said, before I got on the stage, both God and I knew exactly what we wanted to say, but now I'm on the stage, I'm looking for that missing person.
Yes, and
okay. Go ahead.
But I would definitely agree with what the two of them just said. And I feel for Rekha, the person that we're talking about, if she's interested, there must be something that got her interested in the first place. It's not like she heard about it and all of a sudden she's all confident, because something has made her interested all along. So she just needs to find that one thing that made her interested and constantly keep herself, she has to remind herself that what she's worth and why all this is worth it. So she just has to find that talent in herself and just project that on stage.
That's fascinating. Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching a Triple N talk show. I am Dr. NIK NIKAM, and I have three beautiful ladies here who are the winners of a beauty pageant brought to you by Bollywood Sheikhs and Ruchika DS, who is here. Okay, let's talk about looks. I know, we say looks are not important. I don't believe that. I tell you. If I dressed up in t-shirts, I don't think you ladies want to even sit for the interview here. Let's start off. What did you do in terms of bringing out the beauty in your case?
I participated in the Mrs. title, and I just had my baby, which at that time was 12 months old. So for me, it was like to bring the confidence back, to be back in my shape, and I wanted to look pretty on the stage. I did work out a little bit to get myself fit, and I'm a physical therapist by profession. So
nobody has to tell you how to do it.
I was training myself. And the other thing was I had a little bit of complications during my pregnancy, so I was like off of high heels. So I was wearing my high heels, walking around in my house, and then asking my husband, how do I look, this, that. But
you should have asked a physical therapist about the hazards of high heels.
In front of me, though. Clean eating, and for me, I don't do a meditation or something like that, but for me, music is the thing. Like, that relieves my stress. I have to have music on, and then that was it. Like, that was my preparation.
Pooja?
Well, it was actually funny for me because I found out about 3 days before the deadline about the pageant. So I didn't have too much time to prepare. But in those 3 days, I definitely, I keep up a healthy diet in general because I am a type 1 diabetic. So nutrition is very important. So definitely healthy diet. It's good to have your dresses prepared beforehand and just have your makeup artist ready. Like, it's just good to be prepared beforehand. That really helps. Keep that.
That's absolutely true. And like the both of them said, again, work out, eating clean, detox, and all of that. A little bit of skin regimen, I think, to have that glow on your face the day of. And whatever just helps you cope with the stress. Because this is, even if you're comfortable on the stage, there will be a moment where you'll be nervous and you want to keep that calm and just compose yourself. So I think whatever helps you, if you want to pray a little, meditate a little before that, so have all of that ready and just teach yourself how to be calm.
One thing I got from all three of you is that, we all have limitations, and you all put aside your limitations and said, okay, there's a bigger mission to accomplish, and that's the way to go. That's a very important message to get from this. Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching the Triple N talk show. I am Dr. NIK NIKAM. We are talking about a beauty pageant with a purpose. My special guests are Rutvi, Pooja, and Chandni. Okay, let's talk about elegance. I'm not a very elegant person to start with. How do you bring out elegance on stage or off stage? Because you're judged even off stage, isn't it?
The pageant is not just a 1 day or a 3-hour program or anything. It's a journey of 2 days, 2.5 to 3 days, where we meet other contestants and all. And it's not like we have to pretend. It's just that we have to be ourselves. So it's a journey of knowing other contestants, knowing what their backgrounds are, and meeting other people, making friends, and just be yourself. And it was very interesting because everyone were from different backgrounds. Someone was a doctor, someone was a stay-at-home mom taking care of the family. It's just being yourself.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that elegance shines through when you're being kind with others, because during these 3 days you're meeting so many new people and you're introducing yourself, and as long as you're respectful towards one another and you're having fun, I think that's where elegance really shines through as a person. Because if you're, sometimes in competitions people can get a little catty and mean with each other, but that's not being elegant. To really shine through, just be kind.
That reminds me of Zig Ziglar, who used to be one of the most famous motivational speakers, and he said, if you are a salesperson, you should be selling even in your dreams.
Exactly. I agree with
Just
that.
because we are on the off stage doesn't mean that our character can be different, because
No.
what's inside is going to come out no matter where.
That's true.
And I think it's the overall mannerism, your posture, your body language, everything that you've grown up with. You've already been taught all of this, you know. If you're part of this thing, you compose yourself and you put all of that in action. And just like if you wear your grace, if you have everything, I think that beautiful smile on your face adds to the elegance.
Okay, let's talk about walking down the ramp. You know, just looking at the ramp, my adrenaline level pumps out. So give us some tips on, you know, what things we should do and what we should not do, especially for Rekha.
For Rekha, this is the answer for you. See, we are not the ramp models or in profession, so definitely it was a challenge to walk and to look pretty at the same time. So, but thanks to Ruchika and thanks to Bollywood Shake, we had a pageant coach. Her name is Niharika Nag. She is one of the finalists of the Femina Miss India. So her and her team helped us to do a lot of formations, dance formations, and then ramp walking tips. So that helped us a lot. It was the day before the pageant took place, and at the end, it's the confidence, and then we all were happy to be there on the stage. So the training and confidence helped us to be part of it.
I absolutely agree with that. They actually have, for Rekha, obviously, they have pageant coaching. So I would definitely suggest that they teach you walks and turns and everything. But for the Bollywood pageant, I had never done a pageant before this, so I had no formal training. But like you said, they had Miss Niharika Nag. She's an amazing pageant coach. She really helped us, and the whole Bollywood Shake team, they helped us a lot.
Yes, absolutely. That's something that the pageant provides, and I think, Rekha, you should definitely take advantage of that. And even if you feel like you've, done this before or you know this, but I think that tips, the help, the practice makes you better.
Another thing I want to point out is that, I'm sort of an amateur photographer, and if you're walking on the ramp, the most important thing is not only you're trying to impress the audience, but somebody has to capture those candid moments. It takes more than a second to capture the moment. I saw so many times they come to the end of the ramp and they just turn around and go. That's not giving time for the photographer to capture. I mean, they are trying to enhance your presence there so that everybody else can appreciate who are not there.
Yes.
So you may want to remember that whenever you reach a point, pause for a second and give time for the photographers to take the pictures. Because this happened to me a couple of weeks ago, and it is very important. If we can't capture it, it didn't happen. I mean, so it's a lost moment.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching a Triple N Talk Show. I am Dr. NIK NIKAM, and we are talking about beauty with a purpose. My special guests are Rutvi Chauhan, Pooja Goyal, and Chandni Paul. Okay, let's move on to the next topic, and that is photogenic appearance. Is this genetic, or you all just give up?
It's not genetic for sure. But like throughout my childhood, I never thought I would be like on the camera looking and posing and looking pretty. So I'm not at all the photogenic person. But I did try a lot. Like, okay, I believe that each and every lady has one feature that is perfect, like a smile or eyes or the chin. So I always thought that, okay, if this left side is better, I would definitely pose and then give the photographer that opportunity to capture the best part of me.
Yes, definitely show your best side, whatever quality you have, as long as you express that. It comes from within, it shines through, and then just do whatever makes you feel good, like if doing your hair curly or straight, you know what looks best on you, and just bring out those good qualities that you have and let that shine through.
Absolutely. I think we're all selfie pros by now, so you should take up your selfie camera and just try to see which angle is your best, because it is really true. One of your side is much better than the other. So find that right side for you and just smile.
That's wonderful. I look old, bald, and wrinkled, but I'm still looking. But I don't think I can have many tips on that particular topic. Let's move along. And the most important part, I think we all think, maybe the evening gown. So maybe you ladies can highlight, because I know there are people who go to extreme lengths of trying to get the most expensive gown. I don't know if that is the right approach.
I made my husband crazy. I was like running around in town to all the stores and this, and finally I wore my own dress, which I was like really happy I made that decision. Because I got a lot of compliments in that dress, and I was really happy that I actually fit in that dress.
Actually, you see, when I look at dress, I mean, of course, I buy on garage sales. I have to confess. But when I look at dress, does this dress fit my personality? That's all I care about. Not is the most expensive brand or the most flashy color or anything like that. Does this fit my personality? And if it is, I mean, that's what I do. I may have to go buy a jacket from some place, a tie from somewhere else, and all this, you put the whole thing together. It's like creating an image of ourselves which is appealing to other people.
Yes.
Okay, now let's hear from the ladies. I don't think anybody wants to hear from me.
No, I definitely agree with that. Pick the dress that fits your personality best, but also what you feel most confident in as a person. I mean, if you see, the thing is, people can tell you this color looks good on you, this doesn't, but if you don't feel confident in that dress, you're not going to be happy while you're performing on stage. So wear a dress that suits your personality, what you feel confident in, and don't overextend yourself. It's okay. You don't have to buy the most expensive dress. The main thing is, if you're confident and you feel good about yourself, it's gonna come through on stage. Trust me, like it really is.
Absolutely. I mean, these pageants are long, and you're in high heels, and you're wearing these maybe heavy gowns or dresses, so you really want to be comfortable. It's not about, oh my, if I'm going to put this 30-pound gown on and it's going to hide my curves. No, you're not going to be comfortable. It's going to show on your face, and so I think the most important thing is being comfortable in what you choose.
That sounds very interesting, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching a Triple N talk show. I mean, I make mistakes, so I just move along. You know, only people who don't make mistakes are the ones who don't try.
Right.
Yes, absolutely.
You're watching Triple N talk show. I am Dr. NIK NIKAM, and my special guests are Rutvi Chauhan and Pooja Goyal and Chandni Pal.
Yes.
Okay. And we are talking about beauty with a purpose. These are all beauty pageant winners, and we are trying to find out, I'm trying to extract some tips on how Rekha, our hypothetical person, you know, Rekha has never been on stage. I mean, stage fright, they say, they rate stage fright as higher than death. The fear of stage fright. And I'm the best example for that matter. Okay, give us some tips on how Rekha can improve her confidence on the stage.
Stage fear, ask me about it. I can be on the stage, like I can dance, I can do shows and all, but I can never hold a microphone and then have the audience look at me and then just listen to me. So yeah, that was my biggest obstacle that I had to overcome. For Rekha, I would just advise her to practice, like how she is going to poise herself, and she has to come up with answers spontaneously. So just try on giving like speeches, and then ask the family members to point out her mistakes, and that she can work on those and then strengthen her strong points.
Yes, I agree with that. Please, like, practice beforehand. That's really going to help you. And you can start small. I would suggest for Rekha to just first practice with her family, and then practice speaking in front of your friends. And if you're in school, do more public speaking. That definitely helps. And just don't try not to get nervous. I know it's very nerve-wracking, but just take a deep breath and relax. And, you know, there's always a joke. Imagine everyone in their underwear when you're on stage.
So you're not embarrassed.
Exactly.
Yes. And it's, you know, it may be a cliche, but yes, practice makes a man perfect. So the more you practice, I do this all the time. Just, you know, see yourself in front of the mirror and just ask yourself questions, just, you know, spontaneous questions, and just try to answer that gracefully, I think. So practice is what really makes.
That's wonderful. Yeah, practice makes perfect. In fact, maybe I don't want to give out a lot of secrets. Our studio is in a basement. We are using like a camcorder to record this video, and you can judge for yourself. But the point I'm trying to make is get a camcorder, which costs like $200-300. Record yourself. And then have someone look at it and see what are the areas where you can really need to focus upon. And that's one way to do. And what we're going to do now is switch gears, and we're going to move into the most interesting part of a beauty contest, and that is going to be, let me find this secret stuff here I have. Where's the other page? I think I'm missing a page. Do any of you have a page?
Which one is that?
Which one do you need?
We have so many.
No,
Harvey?
yeah, Harvey. Okay, that's good. That's fine. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching a Triple N talk show. I am Dr. NIK NIKAM, and we are talking about a beauty pageant with a purpose. And my special guests are Rutvi Chavan and let's see, Pooja. Pooja Goyal and Chandni Paul. Okay, now we're going to switch gears, and you ladies, I want you to imagine you're on your final wing of your beauty contest. Now you're on the stage answering impromptu questions. Are you all ready?
Round 2, here we go.
Okay. These ladies don't know these questions, so hopefully they will be very candid and you can get some idea as to, how to address these questions. Recently we had a hurricane which was of biblical proportion, which put hundreds of thousands of houses underwater and brought the whole city to a crippling halt. If you are the mayor or the leader of this city, how would you approach this?
What happened was sad. It was a catastrophic incident that happened, and Houstonians had to experience that, which was never ever happened in 800 years. If I would be the mayor, the thing that were taking place at that time, like people were going out and beyond, helping other people. The shelter homes were open, the churches were open, and people were taking other people in their houses, giving them extra whatever they had. And I myself volunteered to a couple of places, even in the hospitals. And the thing that I saw was unbelievable. Like, I always think that where there is devil, there is always a God. So I always feel that amongst all these bad things that were happening, there were good people too. And the mayor, if I was the mayor, then I would encourage other states to open their houses for the people, open their hearts, and help people financially, because it was not just that situation, that 4 or 5 days that it was happening, but it was also for the future, because we went backwards 10, 12 years, the expense that was caused. So I would really take care of that and ask the people to help other people. Absolutely, and the cost of rebuilding all those was lost during hurricane has been estimated to be $160 billion, and most of which has to come from the individuals, because most of them were not covered by flood insurance. Right. Okay, we'll move on to the next question here to Pooja. Pooja, what are your thoughts on interracial marriage? And you ladies are all would be interested in this topic. And if you don't like one or the other, why? Could you explain?
So on interracial marriage, I definitely think that there should be equality. I mean, we live in a day and age where there's so much diversity, especially where we live in the Houston area in Texas. There's a lot of diversity. You see people of multiple races come together, and truly race is not something that should come into play. When you love someone, you love them, and they should be together. And honestly, being equal is really important right now, because I feel like in current events, there's so much division going on in politics and everything, and right now people need to come together, and you should truly just be able to love who you want to love. I mean, race should not matter.
Okay, and you're speaking from your point of view. Let me turn gears and ask from your parents, not your parents, I mean from parents,
yes, I understand.
Desi parents in general.
Yes, especially in the Desi community. I understand there's a lot of stigma and there's stereotypes that, you should not be with this caste and you should be with this certain person. And I do understand, but you have to also think about your parents, that this is the mentality they have, that they were growing growing up with, and they are not going to be as open and understanding. So you should also understand your parents' view, but truly you should do what you want to. So you really need to just understand both sides and try to balance things out.
That's wonderful. So we're going to move on to the next question, and this is going to be for Chandni. You ready?
Yes, ready.
Chandni, in the last 18 months to 24 months, on a regular basis, we heard about mass murders.
Oh, yes.
And most of these involved guns, people. Now, the question is, what is the real problem in this country? Is it the guns, people, politicians, mental illness, or what is it, and how would you approach this?
Well, first of all, the last shooting that just happened in Las Vegas, prayers for the victims and their families. It's very, very unfortunate that these events keep happening so frequently, and they're usually guns, like you said. Well, I don't know the real problem, honestly. If we knew what the real problem was, maybe these wouldn't happen. But I think the law, to some extent, because this has happened so many times, it does include the guns, then I don't know why are we allowed to have the weapons so freely, and why is there not a stricter regulation in terms of licensing or who can carry it, where you should bring it, stuff like that. It's everything together. It could also be, the criminals and their mindset and all that. It's a big research topic, so that does play a role also. But I think if there's stricter laws, if there's regulations about guns, maybe it could be prevented.
That's wonderful. You ladies are doing so good. At your age, I couldn't even hold the microphone or get on the stage for that matter. Okay, let's move on to the next contestant here. And let's talk about women in politics. What are your thoughts?
That's a difficult topic, at least for me, because, for me, I always thought women should be everywhere. It's not just being a stay-at-home mom or the homemaker, but right now we are living in an age where they are on the moon, they are on the other planets, they are on the space, they are the directors of the biggest hospitals in the world. So even in the politics, because
even huge companies, Pepsi Cola.
Yeah. So for me is right now the youth and the people right now are having their own idols, their models. So if there are women on each and every field, then people are literally following them, and that is actually creating awareness in the remote interior areas where women are not educated, women are not supported. So if they are in politics, they can encourage them. They can have their own charity organizations. They can have their own groups going into villages and helping out people. So it's
also,
not just in politics.
They should also address women's concerns.
Right.
Many things relate to women which are different.
Right. And right now it's either the people are superly modernized, westernized culture with good views, and then there are this families or this public who are still in the orthodox views. So we have to have a connection between these two groups. So if women are up there standing and holding the microphone like Rekha would in future, I think with media and communication that famous right now, all can have a good background, and they all can reach where they want it to be.
That's fascinating. Wonderful.
I definitely want to add something to this. Sorry. I mean, we were just talking about how women should stand up and fight for problems, which I was just reading about this young Nobel laureate, Malala Yousafzai, and how she stood up for kids and their education in the Western Pakistan, where it was banned. Female education was banned, and she is so young herself, and she's standing up for this and making this international movement speaks volumes. And that's
absolutely. I don't know why these similar questions are coming to Pooja for some reason.
It's a hint. Maybe she should get married.
Okay, let's get this question on the board here. Do you think men are taking equal role in domestic responsibilities? If not, how are you going to enforce?
I do believe now that times are changing and men are helping more in the household. And this goes back into the other topic. Women are in politics now and women are in higher platforms. So I don't really think there's a specific gender role associated with a person anymore. As much as it used to be. I mean, of course, there are some stereotypes that still happen, but I mean, I see men like that stay home and they cook, and I see the women doing a business, owning a CEO of a company or something. So I feel like in this generation, it's getting less and less a specific gender role attached to someone.
So there's a definite role for a Mr. Mom, and if they don't accept it,
yeah, especially if the woman is strong, you know.
Right.
well, women in general are the strongest people.
Yes, of course.
And okay, let's move on to the next question here. And this is a very sensitive topic where people are being pulled out of their chairs from aeroplanes, for which they have paid money and they have been dragged through the passageways. And if you were one of those who were pulled out of your seat and dragged through the aisles, what would be your response?
I mean, it would be horrific. At that moment, I don't know how I would respond, but it would be really, really sad. And first of all, I'd be like, why am I going through this? It may be bad karma, but still, I mean, I think it's not fair. I mean, it depends on why. If there's a solid reason, if you're maybe one of the criminals taking down the plane and they're dragging you, yeah, of course, you need to be out of that plane. But if you're just this, just the general public and you haven't done anything, if you're innocent, I don't see why that happens, and that's just not humanly.
Should we change laws in terms of overbooking planes and forcing ordinary citizens to give up their seats for like airline employees?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, I think there should be a definite law regarding this. I mean, everyone's equal. If you're an airline employee or you're just a general person who's booking your tickets and trying to ride that plane, why should there be a difference? If you've booked it in advance, if confirmed it, I think you deserve that seat.
Okay, let's switch topic now. It's going to be Rutvi. And, there are millions of people, young children, who go hungry each night all across the globe, even including United States and even some streets of Houston. But we see some of these parties in our city, not only Indian, but maybe others and all these things, because I just mostly end up going to Indian galas because I like Indian food. And, each one of us are trying to outperform our neighbors who are trying to outperform us. So this is a vicious cycle.
Yeah.
And you see so much of food being wasted. What are your thoughts? And, if you are giving a party, what would you do?
This is really sad that it's happening in our community. Like, I have seen that. People try to go bankrupt. Even
I had this word bankrupt, but I forgot to mention that.
Oh, is it? Yeah. So people go bankrupt just to show and have their party to be best as compared to their neighbors or their other family members or so. And then here goes the food all wasted, and there are thousands of children or hungry people on the street who don't even have the basic necessities of life. So what I would suggest to this kind of people who have this kind of mentality is just walk down the road and see and just thank for what you have. And I'm planning to form up a program and with the other organizations in which whatever is left over, like that can be used for people who are hungry, who are on the streets and who are actually begging for food. So that's what I would suggest them.
Actually, they have done this in Bombay, where they have one of the most famous dabbawalas.
Yeah, that's what I was about to
And when these people
say.
eat food, whatever they don't want to eat, they
Right.
keep it separate before they eat.
Uh-huh.
Because there are a lot of health regulations in terms of using food that
Yeah.
has been,
Yes.
used by other people. So there's, especially in this country, there's a lot of stuff. And you bring up some very important points. And I guess we have to understand, what are we trying to accomplish here?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to. I still don't understand why all these questions to Pooja are sort of along the same lines. How would you address the disparity between men and women at workplace?
Okay, so for men and women at
I don't know how
workplace-
all these three questions
Yeah.
clump together and they're falling on your lap.
So for men and women at workplace, I mean, it's sad to see that sometimes men do get paid more than women still in this day and age, and they're doing the same job and they're being paid more. So there needs to be awareness, I think, brought to that issue, especially since there are empowering women now. We should have equality between that. So it's a way to address that issue. I think we need to bring more awareness and talk about it. I don't feel like it's talked about as much. I mean, you hear about feminists in society and you automatically think like, oh, she's only for women's rights, which is not true at all. A feminist is a person who wants equality for both genders. So I think just bringing awareness and using as the platform, winning the title, using that as a platform to get things out and vocalize your voice is definitely an issue that needs to be brought up, I think.
Oh, that's wonderful. You know, I mean, not only there are so many disparities in terms of promotion, in terms
Yes.
of getting the job to begin with.
Of course.
And there are many areas. But there are some women who have broken through all these ceilings and
Yes.
sailed through.
Even
But
in the past.
on the broader perspective, I think there has to be changes, especially in the corporate world.
One example I want to bring up, there's this scientist, Maria Curie, that invented
Yes,
radium.
radium.
And it was crazy because back then they were like, women could not be scientists.
Yeah.
How can a woman do this? But when she created that, she brought empowerment and people started looking at women quite differently.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk to Chandni. You got like a $50 million award, funds by Bill Gates to educate all children in the world. How would you approach this?
Well, that is fantastic. I wish that really comes true because I would love to do something like that. Because I feel food, education, and shelter, these three things every person on this planet deserves. It is their right, and education definitely being the top. All kids have that. It is their right to be educated. So maybe first of all, mapping down all the villages or rural areas or places where kids are not getting that opportunity, and then making organizations led by females and showing that we're all equal. Just kidding. Everyone can be involved, of course, and then making organizations in these villages or rural areas and funding each village properly with a very good education system would be something that we could do.
That's fascinating. We have medium through which we can get the educational material to people all across the globe. Mm-hmm. One of my dreams has been, if I get that $50 million, I'll quit everything I'm doing, including cardiology, and do the entire 12 grades of American education on YouTube for free for anybody in the world to learn it. Because I was just watching a video this morning, and one of the students, he just watched YouTube and learned the entire 18 chapters of Bhagavad Gita and was able to recite it from memory. Mm-hmm. So there is tremendous potential, resources, and it's just a matter of, having the willpower to do it and the way and means to do it. Okay, let's move on to the next thing. Is the life of celebrities as glamorous off the stage as it is on the stage? Rutvi.
I wouldn't agree because I always think there is a real life and real life. So, off camera there are whole different personalities, because on camera they are given a specific role to perform. So they are in that character, which I'm pretty sure they are not back at home. So I think that's a whole different two personalities. Right, one on the camera and one off screen. So,
Should they be a little more receptive to the people who admire them?
Because they are on-screen celebrities. People look forward to see them.
Yeah.
So, and people have them as their idols. Like in South India, there is this actor forgot his name.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, people are worshipping him as a god.
I know.
Just
That's
like
what I said.
Amitabh Bachchan.
Yeah.
So people are looking forward of what he's doing, what all brands he's endorsing, what he's performing. So they are actually like tracing down his activities. So for them to be their public, the people, their fans, idols, they have to indulge themselves into good deeds. So I think that part is a good thing, but I definitely think they have their own personal life, real life and real life.
Okay, let's move on to the next question. And I have no idea how these questions are coming to Pooja. Another one. Look at here. Okay, lately, high-profile people in the media, politics, and entertainment have been under the radar in the news regarding sexual misconduct.
Yes.
So let's talk about this and what are your thoughts and how would you approach this?
It's
Anyway, this is the final question. So if you're all ladies, I said, man, this is.
No, I definitely agree. They've been brought to attention, and I feel like it is a good thing because this does need to be brought to attention because in the celebrity world, in the high profile world, there is a lot of sexual predators and harassment going on that you don't hear about because they have so much power and they can cover it with their money. This is not good. It needs to change. I think there needs to be light brought upon it so people know about this issue and they can fix it. It's not something that is good. So I think it's a good thing the media is bringing awareness to this issue because we're finally finding out about the things that go on underground that you don't hear about. So I believe it's a good thing that it's coming to light.
Absolutely right, because these people have been doing for 2-3 decades.
It's been going on
Fox
since
executives,
since there has been
the
Hollywood,
politicians.
Bollywood.
Couch.
Yes, all
Yes.
these people are doing it, and I don't see why it should be tolerated.
No, and
you young ladies are going to be working in the business world, and
especially in the
you're going to
entertainment
face the same
industry.
challenges as anybody else.
Yes,
I
absolutely.
think we just need to educate our girls, our community, and they just need to stand up for this and just
Exactly.
put an end to it altogether.
You've done a fantastic job, and thank you so much for coming on our program. Rutvi, thank you for coming, and
you for
Pooja
having me.
and Chandni, and also Ruchika for getting all these ladies on Triple N Media. Ladies and gentlemen, you have been watching a Triple N talk show. I am Dr. NIK NIKAM, and please do subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we will see you next time. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you.